Okay, so this is smelt test 1. I've got this as a Lee smelter, and I've got this down at 8, on a level 8. It doesn't unfortunately give you any kind of indication on temperature, so we're going to go with 8 in at the moment. As you can see, I put a handful of Games Workshop figures into the smelter just to kind of, well, one, recycle old miniatures, and two, it should already be of a decent quality of metal to just recycle, which is what the whole point of this, it really is. So that's now melting, and we'll come back to this in a few minutes. Okay, this has now been smelting away for about 5 minutes. More miniatures have been added to the pot. On top right now there is slag, which is useless material that can't be used for, well, anything, and this is also dried paint, and, well, burnt paint actually, and also a couple of pieces of plastic as well are in there too. And as I break the surface, you see this is now reverted to a powder, which is ash, and as I break the surface it turns very, very silver. This is the useful metal underneath. If I just get rid of that, I'll get rid of that now. Okay, underneath is this top layer. It's absolutely non-usable. Bring all that to the side. And then the material underneath is what we'll be using for casting. So this is recycling miniature material and then using it in newer sculpts. Okay, we'll come back to this in another second. I just need to organise the removal of this material into a safe environment. Okay. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of powder to the mould. Too much powder on that one. Let's okay. The moulded powder mould there. So we'll assemble this. Now this is the first test of this. I'm hoping that this will. Now when putting these moulds together, the advice I've been given is that this is the first time I've actually cast in metal. You only want to make you don't want to make this too tight. So this is the Undead Cheerleader from an American football game by a commercial company, and we're making attempts to keep it a little bit. Actually, that's the way around. It needs to be on the ends. Probably spotted that really. It needs to be like so. So two boards on the outside of the mould. Light grip. The elastic band should do the job. Now, there's still a little bit of trackings on the top, which I'm hoping to burn off. It really is best to do this outside. This is actually quite remember the first one's always going to be a bit. Okay, this is the first one. This is a moment of truth, as it were. Actually, that's come out a lot better. A little bit of damage to the mould, which means it was a real mould residue. That's a very good casting of the Blood Bowl cheerleader. So let's put that there. So that's the first of 10 I'd like to replicate today. Great. A little bit of burning in the mould, but that's more to do with the powder, which is what the powder is for. Yeah, very happy. Very happy indeed. The mould, the casting, got some impurities in it, but I will have a look at this afterwards. I'm going to keep this one as the first example, and then paint on it. So that's some of the detritus from the miniatures. So the recycled figures are going to impact. If they're painted, they need to be stripped obviously first. So we've learnt that. The mould's taken a little bit of a kick, but not much. Okay, great. Let's do number 2. Okay, this is cast number 2, setting 2. And that's an incomplete cast, but it's a lot more clearer. Additionally, the material itself within the pot, I've just upped the setting to 4.5, is also easier to manage at a lower temperature. So that's a consideration as well. So the first one requires a lot of cleaning, but this one doesn't. This one doesn't, but as I take it out, it is a little hot, but as I take it out, there's less damage around the mould, which is also quite good. So this goes back in the pot, basically. So I'll leave that there. Goes back in there. It'll soon. Wow, it's already vanished. Cool. Okay, it's starting to decolour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that down to 3.5 for the next one, because it's starting to burn. So a bit more powder. Bless Johnson & Johnson. Okay, that's repowdered. Put that together. Again. There are other methods of making miniatures. One is centrifugal, where you have a disc that spins, and then the liquid metal, which is kept in a permanent state, is just dropped into the centre of the mould, and then as it spins, it pushes the material out. This is a gravity mould. So crack at a slightly higher temperature. I'm going to clear off the material at the top. This is called slag. And I'm finding that might be still a little bit too high, so we're going to bring it down to 3. It's really strange to okay. Could have been quite stiff, so we're going to pour, taking it up to the 5, this is smelt number 3. It's really kind of quick here, it's pointless trying to be gentle with it. Dumping that into water. We'll leave this for a moment, then we'll see how smelt 3 goes. And that was set at 5. Open this one now. This one was set at level 3 and with no grip, because there seems to be a malform in the middle of the mould, and I'm using one of these mechanical grips. Now I'm thinking that the mould is actually being gripped and squeezed, which is preventing medium flow. So what I'm going to do now is have a look, see how it goes. Yes. Okay. So what I've learnt this time around, this is the area that was not being produced. The setting was set to 3. I'm just melting something out right now. Yep, it's cast 3. It's completely cast 3. A little bit of burn, so I'm thinking just under the setting of 3 will actually will achieve the desired result. Great. Okay. This is cast number 6. And this is cast number 7, sorry, and no clamp. Setting is 2.8 and 1 elastic band, so even less pressure on the mould. Okay, massive difference. Okay, quick handle. A bit of burn at the top. No real discoloration. Complete. That's a good thing. It appears that the problem with previous casts was that the mould itself had been burnt. As a result, the content had shifted in part of the sculpt. So this area here wasn't actually being cast. It was only being half cast. You can see the hair at the second head. It's only being half cast. So I've gone in with a scalpel and removed a trace amount on the edge of the mould, and that seems to have resolved it. Apparently this is normal. If you're looking online or if you're speaking to casters, sometimes if your mould is damaged, you can actually just go with the scalpel, put an extra like air channel or something in to resolve this, and that's exactly what I've done. And that's a perfect cast, even down to the colouring of the metal. So the first one I did, which is heavily burnt, but fully cast, obviously, because this is where the damage was done to the mould. But a later one is completely different in its colouring as well. So cool. We'll try and crack out a few more and see where we go from there. Great. Okay, this has completely failed, which is unfortunate because that was really going well. Yeah, so that's going to have to be put straight back into the pot because that's not a good sculpt at all. Cast at all, rather. Sculpt, I think I need to sculpt. Okay, this is going to be smelt number 7A. So the last one did not go very well. The temperature wasn't put up and the material became a bit stiff. So we'll pop them out this time and straight in. the whole idea of this is that I generate a 3D image. I then prepare it as an STL. I then 3D print it, mould it, and then replicate it. Now I can either generate those images myself, or I can go online or even scan a pre-existing product and then put that into a mould and then replicate en masse if I wish. I'm beginning to see that this process will probably suit a smaller business. Larger businesses will probably be using centrifugal systems or something more dynamic, or even be pressure moulding. But this, if you're a small business, I can see that this will be the way forward. And then, of course, later on you'd have to reinvest into your entire infrastructure to enable mass production. So yeah, I mean, you certainly have to catch with Lego. Lego do that, as does Games Workshop, and as does Raspberry. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. If this does come out well, exactly as I want it. Look. Yeah, bang on. Absolutely. There you go. We did make a small change to the mould earlier. I'm keen to see how this gets. We also brushed the mould down to see how it would behave with the burn. The burn hasn't changed, but the detailing is absolutely fine. Yeah, I think I am noticing a little bit more flash. Flash is where you have the sides of the moulds, where you would, if you're moulding one side and the other, it's flash is the join between the two. From the first one, the arm was more detailed, but then, as I say, I burnt the mould. So I think I've been a little bit fortunate to be able to to retain the mould, to be honest. Yeah, this is very usable. Very usable. So that's cast number 7. So 2 have had to go back in because they were that bad. In order, you can see where the mould has been burnt at the beginning. As you can see, the material has actually attached itself to the positive, and then from there I've lowered the temperature and then gone, because this particular device has no gauge, and other than a number from low to high, going from 1 through to 10. So I've gone in at 8 to really melt the material down, and then from there kind of refined it by degree. The other issues as well were the releasing agent, which was a powder. We've gone for a powder rather than anything else, because the powder can take the material. You put something like a releasing agent of a spray or a gel, that's just going to burn out. So no point. There's been an alteration to the mould because of the burn. That's resolved problems as well. And then there's the medium themselves, which though once were Space Marines, are now lumps of pewter. So yes, what we have so far is a tested, well, in my opinion, I've kind of refined how to smelt pewter, and then I've utilised molds to I've how to smelt pewter, how to cast it properly, and temperatures as well. So yeah, from this point on, I can